Hello and welcome to day 2 of our 6-day wine course. We've just learnt that the South Australian isolation is going to be cut short due to a monumental lie by one of the workers at the pizza bar. But we won't talk about that. Honestly, I just don't even know where to begin. But it's definitely, I believe it's why you're taught not to lie when you're young, because yeah. Bad things happen when you lie. But we have a bottle of wine. It's lunchtime. I brought the tasting forward, of course. A 2018 Complemen'Terre Croix Moriceau. So Complemen'Terre is a couple by the name of Marianne and Manu. Now, husband and wife. Manuel's father is Domaine Landron, who is a very famous biodynamic estate in Muscadet. 50 hectares run biodynamically, which is just it's a huge estate for biodynamics, so it's quite a big operation. And Complemen'Terre literally means that complements the earth. So their whole mindset, of course, is minimal intervention winemaking and the like. And as I touched yesterday, our portfolio of wines that we import are split across classic and progressive, but they all share very high environmentally valued farming practices. I mean, you can put together any words these days, but these guys legitimately care about the earth and an expression of terroir. So Muscadet, I'm quite a big fan of. It's in the western Loire by the Atlantic Ocean, so it gets the Atlantic influence. Granite and schist soils, relatively sort of rolling and undulating, and perfect with the local seafood. Quite legitimately perfect. A more classic, crisper Muscadet, perfect with El Natural oysters, whereas something that's made a little bit more sort of progressive and a little bit minimal sulfur and a little bit more development and richness will go beautiful with wines that have a little oysters and seafoods which have a little bit more flavour. You know, for instance, with this right now, if I didn't have oysters with a nice little sort of vinaigrette on top, I'd probably go some just, whole cooked prawns, peel them, a little bit of mayonnaise and wasabi, because I think this would be able to handle a little bit of wasabi. And I think I'm going to have to go get them now this afternoon, because that sounds pretty bloody good. But the reason I love Muscadet so much is because it's a fresh white wine along the lines of, say, a Chablis. This is more like a natural producer Chablis. So there's a producer called Demore in Chablis, D-E, then the next word is M-O-O-R, and they make a very natural Chablis in this sort of style. And they're delicious. They're not classic quintessential Chablis, but they are delicious. And then there's other natural Chablis producers where they just can't join the acidity with the oxidative flavours, and they're disjointed and they're not pleasing. You know, like we talked about yesterday, making minimal intervention and sort of progressive wines in regards to not adding as much sulfur and really letting it sort of take its own course is a genuinely hard job. We have a few in our portfolio that just do it well. We wouldn't import them if they didn't, and we won't import wines that they produce which are too far gone or faulty. But when they're on, they are on, and some of the most Moorish wines. So, again, like yesterday, this will throw a bit of a haze, and it's got a little bit of richness to the colour. I'll try and get that in the light. Oh, there we go. But you can see it's really quite bright still, so you can tell it's alive. The nose has this beautiful quince and sweet spice and apples, a little bit like yesterday, a little bit fresher and a little bit more salty and saline. There's a beautiful sort of preserved lemon, almost a bruised preserved lemon sort of character. Definitely still a little bit of sweet spice, but maybe some more fennel, and all very cooling aromas. Lifted. And the higher echelon cuvées from Complemen'Terre have more detail. This has got beautiful flavour and a bit of detail, but it definitely is just for quenching one's thirst. Now on the palate, overwhelming freshness. Straight away, you realise that the wine is not detached, it's complete. A beautiful long salty line, some beautiful orchard fruits, crisp apple, quince, lemon juice, beautiful sort of minerality that ties that in. Some sweet spice and maybe some baked apple and baked quince that's a little bit richer, but it's still definitely in check and no way, shape or form heavy or cloying. And it's just delicious. It doesn't, you know, it's not like an overtly complex Burgundy where it's changing in the glass all the time. It does change a little bit, but the flavours that I described then fairly well sum it up. And they're delicious and drinkable. And Muscadets, you know, between $20 and $30, depending on the producer, the cuvee and the like, are just, you know, one of the great fresh white wines to consume without feeling like you've broken the bank. So for instance, a lot of people that are perhaps having a party or a barbecue that are the like that would usually drink Burgundy, I'll just say get a clean bottle of Muscadet, and you've got family and friends, you know, particularly over Christmas, that may not sort of necessarily sort of really get into wine, so don't open up the $100, $200 Burgundies. Keep the $30 Muscadets just flowing. Who cares? Just pop them one after another. And everyone will have a great time. Everyone will want another glass, and you'll definitely be the favourite auntie or uncle, or brother, sister, son, whatever. Now, I am going to go get some prawns now. Maybe a little bit of a steak. Might even make a surf. And I'm getting off track here, but I'm hungry. All right. See you tomorrow, and all the best. Cheers.